What's up, everybody? Marvel Across 316 back with another comic book flashback. Today we are looking at Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 27. This issue's title is Illegal. And so, what could that be all about? Well, we're going to look at this great issue today as we continue a great storyline. We recall from last issue how Spider-Man and Green Goblin were fighting to a standstill. We found out that Mary Jane did in fact survive being thrown off that Queensboro Bridge, and now we're going to see if Spider-Man is going to make it out alive here, as he's basically being choked by the Green Goblin, and a superpowered Green Goblin by that fact as well. So here we go. We see the Green Goblin, and I mean, he is absolutely, choking the life out of him. We saw that he was thrown into and basically thrown right into that aquarium where it had all the sharks. So the sharks are basically flopping on the ground here. I mean, this is just crazy stuff. We see here that Harry Osborn recognizes that this is, in fact, Spider Man, who is also Peter Parker. As you can see right through his mask is completely torn to shreds here because of the Green Goblin. And we see Harry Osborn's like, "Dad, is that you? What did you do? Dad, oh my God, Peter." And then we see basically he's being choked to death here. Spider-Man finally gets a breather by kicking the Green Goblin in the chin here, causing a momentary distraction. Spider-Man uses his webbing here. He says, "No time to be fancy, no time to be cute. Just hit him with everything. Just win." And he's like, "Peter?" And so we see that there's more fighting going on. The Green Goblin is saying, "Parker, I told you I would make you." And then he's like looking at Harry, and he's like out of breath, it looks like. We see that Agent Quartermain, is watching from above here. He's in his helicopter and he's wondering if he should shoot at the Green Goblin once again. But we see here that Harry Osborn is in the way. He said, "Sir, the Osborn kid is in the way. Your call." So then we see Spider Man throws this huge desk right at the Green Goblin, and it hits the Green Goblin, but it also, parts of the desk are flinging out of the window. So now Spider-Man has to go catch this thing from falling. I mean, many stories below, might hurt someone down below. So we see Spider-Man is hanging on for dear life. He has to get this big object back inside, and the Green Goblin is right behind. And Harry continues to talk to the Green Goblin and said, "Dad, stop." He keeps saying, "Father." And then he pretty much impels the Green Goblin with this giant beam here. And we see that it makes contact. And oh my goodness, here, the Green Goblin is like, "How could you do this?" He's looking at Harry. And then we see that more gunfire shot at the Green Goblin. We see that because of the gunshots and being impelled here, that it causes enough disturbance here to transform the Green Goblin back to Norman Osborn. We see here that Peter says, "Harry, and Harry says, "Peter, why are you, when did I," and then he's like, "It's just something and then he faints." So Harry Osborn faints here. We see that the SHIELD agents arrive on the scene. He says, "It's okay, kid. We're SHIELD agents under the command of Colonel Nick Fury. You all right?" And we see that Nick Fury is on the scene as well. They collect the body of Norman Osborn. It looks like Norman Osborn is alive, and he's going to be now in custody of SHIELD here. And so he said, "Bring him back, and Agent Carter will take care of him." We then see that Peter says, "Are you going to arrest him?" We find out that Nick Fury says no. He says, "Actually, we'll deprogram the hack work hypnotherapy, and then we'll do what we can to get basically him back to a normal life. It'll work out. We've seen worse. Told you we would be there when it came down." Peter Parker is mad, and then basically Nick Fury reveals some more information as they're cleaning up. He tells one of the agents to go get a pair of clothes for Peter Parker, basically, so that he can return back home in normal clothes. Then he reveals this great a big info here. He basically says, look, you need to enjoy your youth because when you turn 18, you are owned by S.H.I.E.L.D. Peter doesn't like that, but he's pretty shocked by it as well. And he's like, look, you're an illegal, unnatural genetic mutation. You turn 18, you belong to me. That's the way it is. Unless you turn yourself into a menace to society, there's nothing we can do about you now. Excuse me there. Sorry about that. And you're a minor, but when you turn 18, and then Peter's like, great. So now I got to worry about Nick Fury basically hounding me once I turn 18. So he basically, swings out the window here. We see here that he's going to go talk with Mary Jane. We see the agents are saying, sir, should we go after him? He said, let him go. And so we see that Peter Parker is going to check up on Mary Jane if she made it home safely. He finally finds her, and it looks like it's in some kind of abandoned warehouse somewhere. I wonder how he found her. But anyway, we see that she's so just happy and relieved to see Peter, and she wants to know all kinds of information about what happened to Harry. Peter says he can't reveal that information to her because basically Colonel Nick Fury says, look, I understand you have a girlfriend, but you need to just lay low. Don't reveal so much information to your girl because it will put her in harm's way. So he remembers that conversation with Nick Fury, but he also feels bad because he never revealed the real truth about him knowing that Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin. Mary Jane didn't know that, and so that's the big issue here, is that there's not been good communication between Peter Parker and Mary Jane. And he's just confronted here. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to break Mary Jane's heart by not revealing these truths to her, but he also wants to protect her as well. So what is he going to do? Well, we're going to have to find all this out as we look at the next issue here. Will Peter Parker and Mary Jane be able to continue to work together? And will Peter Parker be able to confide in Mary Jane, or is he going to have to be secretive and keep stuff to himself? We're going to have to find all this out as we look at the next issue. I hope to see you there. Go ahead, give this video a big old like. Comment down below what you liked about this issue. Subscribe if you have not, and I will see y'all in the next one.